Welcome back to today's coding session. So in this series, in case you are new, I am coding 2 hours of, let's start over again. Welcome back to the daily coding session. In this series, I'm literally live streaming every day, except for Saturdays, my 2 hours of coding session that just to show you that I'm basically doing what I recommend in most of my videos. In a lot of videos, I say that all you need is 2 hours of coding per day to make some progress within your career journey. And so I have been documenting basically my 2 hours of coding session. Fine. So let's say that your coding session begins now. So if you want, just go ahead and put me to the side, put the video on mute, and you know, each one of you watching, you know exactly where you are in your coding journey. You know what it is, what the next step is. So if you're up to a lecture that you need to watch, go ahead and watch it. If you're up to a homework that you need to work on, go ahead and do that. If you just need to take the first step, if you just go ahead and sign up for a course. The point is, let's do 2 hours of coding together. I'm telling you, 2 hours done properly every single day does add up to a lot of time eventually, and you will make progress eventually. Let's get right into coding, but before we do, I'd like just to show you just one or two comments here. So here on the, I guess on the last few live stream, this user Gigantic, which just left a couple of comments here. But basically, he's saying that thanks to the videos, and it's inspiring him to let go of his fear, to just make the 2 hours, just make the time, make the 2 hours a day, and get into coding. So that's that. Now we also have a comment here from Black Star Never Shines. Thank you for your insight. Please, thank you for your insight, help, and advice. I am at a dead end and afraid I am too stupid to make it, but I will enroll in Python introduction and do my best. So this was a comment that was left on the roadmap to how to take all the courses. And this is very inspiring for me to see this type of comment. This is exactly why I'm making these videos. I did my job. Obviously, if I learned how to code and if I make progress in my own professional career, that's sort of like what I'm showing on the channel. But as a side effect of that, and it turns out that really me making progress in my own profession, my own professional progress, is a side effect of the real goal of this channel, which is to inspire you, to get you out of, if you're in a slumber, if you're in such a slumber that you consider yourself stupid, like if you're talking about like that about your own self, and just from watching a video here, you managed to, you know what, just forget about that for a minute. Let me just enroll in the course and start coding. Then I feel like I did my job on the channel here. So thank you for leaving this type of comment on the channel. Shout out to Black Star Never Shines, and I hope that you make progress in Python and just finish the course and just continue growing. And I would say a similar comment here from Tiabara 7242. Nice one. This video makes me feel a lot that I am not alone in this. Thanks as always. We're not alone, guys. We are all in this world and we all depend on each other. And all I'm doing in this channel is just showing that I'm just some guy that was unemployed at a certain point. I had a debilitating injury. I lost my previous job, so I couldn't code. I couldn't work my previous profession because of my injury. And so to me, coding was sort of the key out of the whole situation. And yeah, I'm just showing that. And look, if I'm able to code Django applications now, like almost 2 years later, so can you. Okay. Another comment here from Abhishek Sarkar 348. Do the courses mentioned in the video come with free certification right after the completion of the course? Do you need to pay for the certification? You do not need to pay for the certificate. Check this video here, how to take Harvard's the roadmap video here. Over there in the first comment that I pinned, you'll see all the links where you need to take the course from, and in all those links you have those are all like the websites for each course. Each one has a menu option over there on how to get the free certificate. And over here we have a comment from Pranav Patel 92. How can I get a one-on-one career advice from you? I really need the clarity with my position. plans, certifications, skills, and basic experience related or actual job related work queries, please guide me on how I can book a call with you. And so I responded here with a link. At the moment, I am offering one-on-one sessions. We can use the session for either reviewing your code or just general advice or just to talk. So the link is on the video description down here. This is more or less right now what the page looks like for the tutoring. I call it tutoring, but it's really just a one-on-one for whatever it is that you need to do, whether it's advice, whether it's whatever. Right now, these are the details. Right now, this is being hosted on Gumroad. I will be changing this in the future. I'll make it more of I'm planning on making a Django application for this. That will be in the future live streams, not now. But right now, the link is in the description. And once I change it, it will change soon. And so once I change the link, I will update it in the description. So just go below here. It should be the last thing at the bottom of the description. Okay, so that's enough comments for today. Let's get right into coding. So this is where we left off yesterday. On Friday. Again, it's very important that you do your 2 hours a day. I personally take 1 day off a week, and I recommend you do the same thing. Just take 1 day off to be with your families, to go to the beach, go exercise, go do something that refreshes you as a person, that inspires you to connect to yourself, and then you'll come refreshed, so to speak, to your coding session. So again, do 2 hours a day and take 1 day off. Fine. So this is where we left off last time. So again, we are building here an application on using Django and React. This is more or less a schematic of what we were doing. And so we actually managed to deploy the first div here, where we are submitting new posts. We've already done that. So yeah, so this is where we left off last time. And so let's go ahead and give ourselves a server. Now, before I do that, I want to go ahead and second. I'm just gonna open a new server here. So we're gonna change the directory to our CS50 CS50W week. No, we were not on a week. We were on some CS50W, and we were on network and project 4, and we said that we want Python manage.py run server. Fine. That's the first thing we're doing. It'll take a minute, I guess. And if we reload here, we have a running server, and we actually broke the application. That was right towards the end of our last coding session, where we were trying to implement this part here, where we can display all of our posts by making an API call through React. And this is all broken right now, and I don't know why. So hopefully today we'll be able to get a solution to this. But again, it's all about today. I'm just worrying about putting it 2 hours. Whether I figure this or not, whether it takes another 10 sessions, it'll be painful, a little bit painful, yeah, because I spend 20 hours on this, but I don't really care. My job is just to put 2 hours, and the results will come. So anyhow, this is broken at the moment, so we have to fix that. And just to just to have this open, I'm going to rename this here to server. That's where we're running our server. And over here, we want to run our shell for our database. So that's what that is. And again, we gotta change in. We gotta cd into our directory, network, and over here we want to type in Python manage.py shell. Once we're in the shell, we want to import. I think we want to do from network.models import all, and I believe we could type in here, we can make a new variable here, all posts is equal to, we said we want to get all the posts as posts.objects.all, and, sorry, it's not posts with an S, it's without the S, just post. Yeah, and then if we type in here all posts, we see that we have all these posts that we've already created all these via whatever's supposed to go here, which we have to fix because it broke as we were trying to implement the second part here of our homework. And if we go back to the specification, we'll see exactly what that looks like. We have here this new post form, which again was working before, and now we got to implement this second thing down here, which will just give us a list of all of our posts, just the same way you have on a social networking app. So let's see if we can figure out what was going on here. So we left off. We might have to reload this. Let's see the chatbot here. Yeah, so this is working nicely, and we have our backlog here of cards. This is what we're working on right now. Fine. And let's see here. Fine. So the issue that we're having right now is this whole thing here, like how we return our posts. So if we actually submit a GET request to the route of all posts, so if we actually type in here /all post, we'll get a JSON object or a JSON file with all the post objects here. Now, this just shows us that our server is working properly. We implemented our Python code. Python is a lot easier, I would say, than JavaScript. So we did that correctly. Now, if we go back, we want to make an API call here to our post response. Now we should get some type of response, yeah. Let me just go ahead and alert this data here. Alert. Right? And I'm gonna remove this return argument. And this is how I'm gonna remove this render as well. This is how I'm gonna start debugging the issue. So one thing at a time, basically. Let's reload here. And we see that we still have some broken code. Let's even take this out. Yeah. Our code is still totally broken, so I'm just literally just taking out stuff from here until it looks okay again. And so it seems like I'm going to go ahead and implement this from scratch again, which is not a problem. I've totally done this a ton of times. See, now this is working correctly, and we can prove that because right now we have up to object 18. If we were to type anything here, let's say we're proving that this works. Post we get some error here. Let's see where this error is coming from. Where is this error coming from? It's coming from this catch error, but why is it giving us this? Let's see. You know what? It threw an error, but let's run here. Let's look at the database again. So all posts equals post objects all. So we're getting all of them again. Sorry, not posts with an S, without an S. Here we go. And if we type in all posts, yeah, so we are still up to post object 18, which means it did not work. I'm just gonna reload this for now and see if it works. We're proving that this works. We're still throwing an error here. I don't know why. This was totally working before. New post app, new post form, new post app, new post form. I'm just gonna use the duck here to see what the issue is. So is this code correct? And now we're gonna paste it. Too much code. Okay. I think I know what broke it. Give me a minute here. So is it? You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and so sometimes JavaScript files are saved on locally over here. So let's just go ahead and open a new private window. Let's type in our server address. Let's log in. Let's try creating a new post. We're proving this works. I'm still getting an error. That's crazy. Why am I getting an error here? Let me see here something. I don't know why I'm getting an error. So let's debug it. It's still very long. So let's break it up by parts here. Let's just try this. Maybe I really broke something here. No, let's see. Your code seems to be a React component with for a form that sends a post request when submitted, however, without knowing the context. He's saying here that our code is looking okay. Respond JSON. Let's see here. Set post. Let's try this one more time. This time with here. Let me just take a look at the debugger here for Django. Everything seems to be okay over there. Let's just open the browser tool here. So it's throwing an error here. Line 28. Syntax error JSON.parse. Unexpected character at line 3. Let's see if we could see exactly where that is. No. Where is it? Is it this? No. Let's see what the issue is here. I have no idea. Let's try it again. Let's just reload here and check the console. Let's try hello. Hello. So error syntax error JSON.parse. Do I have anything here that says JSON.parse? Let me see. JSON.parse. No results or anything that says JSON. Let's see. So it's JSON.stringify. That's what this does, right? So the JSON.parse parses JSON response into native JavaScript objects. And so I wonder if the issue is over here, although it's not saving it, so I'm not sure. Right, it's giving me an error, but it doesn't tell me what the error is. Like up here. Inline Babel skill up 2820. I have no idea, 2820. I mean, the only thing I could see as an issue is over here. But then again, that shouldn't really be an issue. Unless it's over here, maybe. No, that's part of fetch. No idea. Response.json parses JSON response native JavaScript objects. Just go on Google. What is this error? Stack Overflow. Let's see. Huh. This guy spent 6 hours on this. I spent over 6 hours to find an exception or a special character, but I couldn't. I check every similar messages. Okay. Yeah. Great. Where is the answer here? If my input is an empty string, do I have an empty string anywhere here? I do and I don't though. Um, okay, so I think the solution for me here would be to basically go on GitHub and find, if possible, let me see here, CS50W, no, here. Let me see here 1 second. So I have CX. So in GitHub, you can see all your, like, you have a carbon copy of this here. CS50W, Network Project 4, Network, templates.network, index HTML. Well, I really hope I could see all the history. Oh, and there's a history tab here. So I'm just going to try to bring it back to 2 coding sessions ago, see if that's possible. Let me see. No. So this is what it looks like on GitHub. And this is what our code looked like 2 coding sessions ago. I'm just going to copy this whole script here. Yep, copy all this and get that out of the way. And I'm going to go ahead and paste everything in the script tag. Now, I'm not really sure what changed here, but let's just reload the page here and see what happens. Yeah, this works now. So it's still giving me an error. So that error has to be coming from the server. Even though the server looks like it's working okay. Let's try again here. Let's see. Tools. So I actually don't think that anything changed when we just paste that old code. I mean, that was working before. I didn't really touch it before, afterwards. So it should be it was working fine. And whatever we just pasted now should be the exact same thing we had there. We're getting the exact same error. So the error must be coming from our response from the server here. Yes, so it should be right here, the error. Right here. This response.json. Now this is returning a JSON response. The question is if we can make it so we can alert ourselves as well, just for debugging purposes. Let's try that. And I feel like this is where JavaScript starts to get a little bit tedious. And just wanna see the response. So alert or console dot log the response. Well, seems to be working. And yeah, we logged here the response. The response is this: type basic URL, redirect to true status, header, whatnot, on call and promise syntax error, JSON.parse by character at line 3, column 1 of the JSON data. What are they talking about? Really? And this is the full response here. So we are getting a solid response. This is all coming from the server here. Now, I have no idea what the solution is here. This is getting even more complicated than it was before. Let's see. I feel very tempted just to take out this JSON dot, where is it? This response.json. I'm going to take that out for now and see what the story is. Now, in the database, have we been creating anything here? So post options has all, and I'll post. So no, not particularly. We don't have anything new here, I don't think. Just for the sake of it, let me see here. All post of 18. So we don't have yeah, we don't have a 19th object. So if we were to type in 17, it's in there. So we haven't been creating anything here really. And so the new post, request method post, try user ID, request user ID. Okay, fine. return this is madness. Let's just reverse this here. So we'll first convert it. We'll first run that JSON method over there. Oh, wait. And then console log response. Yeah, let's try like that. What would be the line 3, column 1? If only I knew line 3 would be like the redirected or column 1? The thing is that it's not saving it, so something is super broken here. I have no idea why. Let's go up here. So new post form. That's working fine. My use state by default is an empty string. Event.target.value. What is the event? The event is handle change. Yes. The value is equal to post. Okay. Now there's something here I'm not seeing, which is the post feed. Okay, let's just try it down here, right in post feed. It's not supposed to be like that, but okay. Just get out of here. Let's try a different approach. Let me just try this here. And post feed. The post feed down here. And post feed. Yeah, that works okay. Fine. But this is still broken, so I don't know what the solution. Ah, it fixed itself. See, this is the thing about JavaScript here. Let's try this again. All post objects all. Sorry, not all posts. Yeah, here, and let's type in all posts. No, it's not working. Let me see again. Just resetting all this, and I don't think I saw here. Though we're not getting any errors from the server itself. It could be that because we took this other thing over here. No, we left it in there. So let me see the browser tools. Let's try again. Is this working? We're still getting the same exact problem. Um, let's see the database. Yet again, all posts equal post. No, all. Yeah, yeah, no. So it's not working. Gonna continue debugging here. Um, I am just taking a quick look here because I do not see. You know what? I think the issue might be here. I don't see the library for this here. So let me just see what the requirement is. What do I need to import? Import to use this. Import JSON. So you know what? I don't see that in here at all. So it could be I deleted that before by accident. I'm gonna go ahead and import JSON. And I don't even want to import all of JSON. I'm just gonna import what I need. So from JSON import loads. No, import JSON. Let's just import all of JSON and see if it works now. There is a slight chance we need to reset our server. Our server reset itself already. Okay. Fine. Is this working now? And so we are not getting that error anymore, which I believe now it's working. Let's try it again. So we're gonna get all the posts. And yes, it's working now. You see, now we have 19 instead of 18. And if we were to go in there, so we would see, sorry, so dot body, dot body. Yeah, you see, we have this in the database now. So that was the issue that I must have deleted that by accident before. Anyhow, the question now becomes whether I should go back to where we were just before. And I will do that. I'm going to go back to the beginning of today, basically, and get back our our code for getting the posts. Yes, let's reload here, and it's broken. Okay, so this is more or less where we left the last. This is exactly where we left the last time. Okay, so let's get right into it now. Now that we know our server is for sure working, let's continue here. So basically, the issue is I'm trying to get this whole new post app. Okay, function. post feed. Getting this massive error here. In line 71, he's saying that this is a mistake here. opost.map post. So there's an error here. Let's try just fixing that and see. We still have an error. Maybe it didn't reload. Okay, looks like now we have a different issue, but our form is back to normal. So I do want to test it again. We're proving that this form works. Post. Nothing happens, which means that I think this works now. So all posts, let's get all of them again, and let's go into post 19. If there's such a thing here, we'll see it. We're proving that this form works. So yes, we are good to go with the form. Now we don't see anything for our posts. So what I do want to do is console log them to see if at least we're getting the correct data into React. So that would be over here. So we're getting the posts. Yeah. Set post to data. And console.log our data. Let's try it. Even before. Console log data. I do believe that the problem that we have is this function here, but we're gonna take a minute to debug here. But as you could see, the data is coming from the server into our React application. I mean, it really is, here, this is feeding into here. So we're getting a server response in a JSON format, which is this here. And it's getting in here, and somehow once it gets to this div here, to the application running there, it's getting lost. So I do believe it's because of this. So maybe it's something that we cannot use. Maybe it's a problem with this over here. React use state. So my React use state, I really don't know what to do here. I mean, I do have to initialize it, or maybe I don't. Do I have to initialize? Let's just leave it like this and see what happens. So it could be that it doesn't. Sometimes you don't, depending on the language, some language allow you to just declare a constant or a variable without actually initializing it. Do you have to, you know what, let's use the bot. Do I have to initialize a const when declaring it in JS? Yes. What about let? Forget about it. I'm just gonna write in here let and hope for the best. What else? What else could I do? No, it's broken. Fine. So let's go back. Let's see if we let's see if we fix it. Yeah, it's fixed. Okay. Type error post.map is not a function. Okay, so this is also giving us a big problem. this whole return argument here. What I would like to do, perhaps, is to just display this as raw JSON on my div. Let's try that before I start looping and doing this whole thing here. Just do a simple thing here. So we said that set all posts to data, right? Which means that if I could just, in theory, just display that. So let's try it. I'm just going to return a post feed. Return, yeah. Let's try, yes. Let's try it like that, and then a div, another div, and over here I want to just return that application. So here it's going to be post feed like that. I think that's the correct syntax. I mean, it's similar to what the course does. Sorry, not the post. Ugh. I am returning. I'm returning itself. Can you return itself? Fine, I'll just return the value of all posts. Now this might be like in terms of syntax, this is probably wrong, but I'm just gonna try it. All posts. Return all posts. Let's try that. Maybe I got even more errors. No, it's not working. It's very difficult, this whole React thing. I'm not giving up, don't worry. We're gonna figure this out. That's the attitude you should also have. You were gonna figure this out. Now, let me just take a look again here. So here we're declaring all these things, or at least the constant use state equals React. Not really sure what this means. What does this mean? React.useState. Oh, okay, so it's just extrapolating something over there. So I don't have to write React.useState. So maybe this is wrong here. All I need to write is useState of that. And let's see up here again. Yeah, we would have to write. So we're extrapolating React from useState, but we still probably need to write React.useEffect. Let's try again. I think we're getting slightly less errors now. And they are all really coming from here. That this is not a function. Anyhow, so up here, I like how it's set up. It's basically new post form, right? The new post form, which handles change, and const handles submit. So we're handling the change and the submit in two different functions. But when we return, we're only returning the new post form. So we're only returning this function here. And so our new post app, what we render is just a div with the new post form. Okay, so let's see if we can duplicate something similar here. Because right now when we're rendering post feed, which is a bit of a mouthful here. Let's see. To set up. I'm just gonna probably set it up from scratch again. How to set up fetch how to set up fetch for get requests in React. Let's try that. To set up a get request using fetch in React, you would typically do this inside of a use effect hook. So look, I've been coding in React already for I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 coding sessions. So that'll be like 6 to 8 hours. And so now I'm starting to understand a little bit that you have like these effects and hooks, and like this seems to be part of the vocabulary of React, something I need to get good at. To set up a get request using fetch and React component, you would typically do this using instead of use effect hook. Here's a general idea of how you might structure it. So const data set data equals use state null, use effect. So use state is, creates a state variable data to store data from the API. The use effect hook runs after the component is mounted. And the fetch function is used. Yeah, I understand fetch. The then methods, yeah, I understood then. And console error. So that's beautiful. They're just putting it inside of here, inside of that. So I am literally just going to delete all the code I have so far here for my post feed. New post tab and that. Yeah, I really would like to set it up in a similar manner. So let's vote here. This is all working very nice. Yeah, the yellow just means that we need to run some optimizations for when we deploy, but the whole thing here is working very nicely. The new post form is working correctly. Let's just go ahead and duplicate similar to what we have here. So I have a constant, I have this, I have that. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Shout out to Sumant Buma. You also keep it up. Keep it up. And let's see here. So yeah, so basically I'm duplicating the same exact code as for this, but I'm gonna work kind of backwards. Okay, so here it's not gonna be a new post tab. We're gonna call this post feed, and we do have the div up there. I'm just copying it from down here, but it's the same div. That's called post feed, right? We're going to call this the post feed app, which means that we need to add that down here. Okay. Down here will be the post feed. Okay. And so the new post form was, yeah, so this over here says new post form. This is going to become the post feed. Okay. Yes. And let's try it again. So we have the post feed. I don't know that we need to import this const useState.react. I think we could do without that because we already have that above somewhere else. We're already running it. I think we have access to, yeah, we have access to it. So we don't have to declare that again. And React out new post app, document with new post form, and then this after that post feed const post set post. Could it be that we were using similar variable names and that's why this is all messed up? Let's just call this post feed. Set post feed. And that our initial use state should be null. Let's just go with null. I don't know why, what's the difference, but yeah, whatever. I don't really like using null. There's some reasons for that, but let's just leave it like that for now. Constant handle change event. Right, so we don't need this here. We don't need this handle change. Okay, take that out. Handle submit would be the actual request, so we have to do the opposite of that, which would be or the get version of that. And here they're just using basically all of this here becomes the use effect. Okay. Fine. So I don't know. I think this so far this looks okay. And then what the return we have to figure it out. I still don't know what the return will be here. Actually, we said maybe we'll just do post feed for now. So let's just post feed. Just return that variable just to see really what we have here, and we'll wrap that inside of a div. Post feed. And I think we might need to put that in curly braces. Okay. This is what we're going to return just for debugging and whatnot. And here we're saying that we're fetching our stuff from /, because it's a dynamic link. So wherever our domain is, it ends up being, wherever we publish this to, it'll still work. What did we say it was called? It was called all posts, right? Let me see our URLs here. All post. So we're going to copy that and over here. And we want a / there. And so we're going to fetch that. Our server's going to return that JSON object. So we unpack it. Then set data or set data becomes this, which really it should be set post feed. I'm going to go ahead and put null here and see what happens. It could be that we have to change that later. Set post feed data. So now our constant will have that in there, and we're just going to return. Okay, and that's the return for this whole post feed function, which means that all of this should really be a little bit more indented like that. Okay, and our post feed is the return of this post feed app, and the post feed app is what we're rendering to the DOM. Okay, let's try that. Let's just let's see. Look, we're getting a ton of errors here. Let's see our server. So if we reload, you see our server is returning something. And I would like to see what that return value is. So before we do that, I would like to here insert some brackets and add a second function here, like that. And I want to console.log this data and see really what we're getting back. Okay, and then I have a problem here with the 0. Fine, so let's just reload it. And let's try again. Target container is not a DOM element. Fine, so that's our mistake here. So again, we'll just copy again, post feed, just a typo that I had here. Like that. Okay, let's try again. I don't know why I'm still getting such a big mistake here. Post feed. And I'm like putting a div within a div here, which should be okay. Post feed, posts with an S. There's a lot of places I can be making mistakes here, but post feed, it should work. Let's see. Like we're definitely getting we're submitting to the server and we're definitely getting, it's good to go. Like it's giving us a 200, which means that the request is good, the return is good, the actual query and the whatever, the return of the server, they're all good. So I don't know what the story is. The reference error use effect is not defined. So let's go up here. So here const use state. Let me see something quick here. So can I add, how do I add, we just need to initialize use effect to this. It's just a comma, fine. So it's easy. So the problem is that we didn't initialize. See, use effect is not defined. We didn't define it. So we're just gonna copy this, put a comma here, and use effect. So all this code is doing here is extrapolating React for us. What does that mean? So usually, really, we would have to write here. Where are we here? Really, we would have to write React dot use effect, but because we extrapolated it, so to speak, we already imported it, we already declared it, we already defined it, so then we can just write use effect. Okay, let's try again. We're getting less errors. There seems to be some issue here. Let me see. Yeah, so catch error, console error. So we're getting some weird error here. Let's see. Let's go back to the console. Error, reference error is not defined. Oh, conlos. I wrote conlos instead of console. This is my problem here. So it's just typos. It seems like the logic might be okay. Console. Again, let's try. And yes, see, we are getting, so this is accurate. Yes, we are going into all the posts where we're getting a 200 return. And here's the data that's actually coming back. Now we're still getting these two React errors here. So what could it be? Let's just click here. Objects are not valid as a React child. So this seems to be a detail here of something that I'm not understanding. And let's see back here, basically getting the same error, minify error 31. Okay. Objects are not valid. What does this even mean? Let's just Google that because I have no idea what that even means. I'm setting up a React app with Rails backend. I'm getting the error objects are not valid as React child. Okay, and so this kind of seems similar to what I have. Yeah, this is more or less the same thing, yeah, than what we have. And he looks like he's typing here. Probably something similar. Let's see. Your data homes is an array. That's exactly what we have. So you have to iterate over the array using array prototype map for it to work. Array.prototype.map should be his return. Let's see. Now, where is he returning that here? I don't see it at all. Okay, so here we are in the Firefox documentation. So let's run this code here. Constant array1, which is basically what we're getting. We're getting an array of objects. Const map1 equals array.map x times 2. So it's iterating for each value, and in each value is multiplying it by 2. So let's try that. Array.1.map. Now in React, it doesn't like, I think this is what we were trying to use before in our previous session. We turned .map, trying to use .map, but it doesn't let you do that. Like you have to type in, wait. You have to type in array.prototype.map. Okay, let's go back here. That's one possible answer. Let's go back here to my post-feed app and copy paste. Just I want a general answer here from the duck. What is wrong with this code? The issue with your code is might relate to how you're trying to render post feed, which is, I think it's over here. It's in the return here. So we need to return post feed and post feed.map post. No, I don't like this code. I don't know. It doesn't feel right. Remember to replace post.id with actually unique identity posts in your data. So we have to iterate anyways, but how do I return an array of objects in React? That's what we're getting at. I couldn't implement it. It's not working. Could you just give me an answer? Do I need to just reload it? Do I implement how do I return an array of objects in React? In React, you can return an array of objects by mapping over the array, right? What does that mean? No idea. I guess looping over the array. And returning a JSX element for each object. Let's see your array dot map object index. Okay. Your component. This is so crazy complicated. Let's see. Shout out to Android 17 who says nice. Yeah, it's nice that we're putting in the effort of the 2 hours a day. What's not nice here, which I'm showing it live, is I'm totally stuck here. Totally stuck. I mean, crazy for like 2 days already, but we'll get it done. In React, you can return an array of objects by mapping over the array and returning a JSX element, right? So we wanted to use my key is going to be index. Property 1 is object.property1. Property 2 is going to be object.property2. So maybe I did forget something important here, which is something they showed in the lesson. Let me see if I can find it. Here in the addition, right? They all they predefine this. Set state, value state, and so in the properties, where are the properties here? State that responds, no. Counter, no. React, I guess here. So here they're returning that. Guess we could write something similar to this. But this function takes like props, right? So here we would have like a loop. Wow. Okay. Let's try again. Place your array. So here's how they're doing it, but this code doesn't make any sense to me. I really don't know. Property 2 equals object.property 2. And we return a JavaScript. What is a JSX element? JSX. So what I'm getting at here is that each post needs to be its own. I'm assuming they call this a JSX element, its own thing basically. I just maybe want to just return the first one for now, just to prove that this kind of works. And I'm going to put this to the side for now. Refer to it in a minute. And onClick equals of that. We've already kind of implemented code that looks more or less like that. So here's a hint. I've noticed that in the CS50, in the CS50 problem sets, if you haven't implemented in the homework every single tool or every single paradigm that they taught you in the lecture, it means that you haven't completed the homework well. So see, if whatever I was trying to do right now, I was able to do this, which I haven't been able to do. Maybe this is why. But if I were able to do this without using this style of coding, this paradigm, then I'm missing something. And this is maybe what the problem is. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep these two over here just for reference. Go back, and so they first declare all the fields. When they are first declaring the initial use state, they're declaring already all of the fields. So maybe I should do the same thing. Really, maybe I should do the same thing. So here we have constant post feed and set post feed, use state, and we're going to take out this null. We are going to, now each individual post, we have something called the post and the post feed. So maybe even I don't need any of this. Maybe all I need, let's see. Okay. So how would I do this? So if I have my post feed here, the first thing I want to yeah, Android hit. So this is not working because it's not letting me return. So the way this was set up before is that I'm declaring this constant here, which initially is just like a null use state, which I'm not even sure this is correct. This is the code that I got from the duck debugger. Okay, and so what I'm trying to do is once I get all the data from the server, which this is working right now. I'm getting you see I'm doing a get request I'm getting a 200 back, and I already saw the data in the console. Yeah, so we are getting the data. Here's all the data that we're trying to get. Fine, but like we're saving that data in memory here and something that maybe it's not even relevant. So I'm trying to figure out how to make it's basically it's not letting me return. I put the result of my get request. I put all this JSON file basically back into this constant here, and then I'm trying to return that constant inside of a div. And when I try that, it doesn't work. I am getting the data, as you can see. I'm logging here, console.log data. So I am logging it. We can see all of it here, and we can see object and all the data inside of it. That is working correctly, but I don't think I'm storing it correctly. So what I'm going to do is perhaps something else, something totally different, basically. I want to have a const post feed and then a const. I think what I want to do is I want to create one of these separate for each post after I iterate. So maybe this is a good point to take a piece of paper here. I want to get the data, get JSON, store JSON in its own variable, iterate through this JSON file, and then probably have a condition if no post in JSON, so return some type of error. And then just go ahead and return. So for each object, I want to return a div of each post. I mean, that's sort of the logical thing here. Oof. Let me just go one step back. Let's see if I can just return this data directly over there. And so let's just try that. Let's try to put that in over there somewhere. Let's just put it in here. Let's see. This looks like looks like code that's wrong, but just see hopefully if it works. See? I mean, my post feed here should return this over here. If it doesn't, then it means that I'm not understanding anything here. Let's try it again. Let's see. While this loads, Carlin's Lamb is asking, hi, sorry to interrupt your coding progress. Not an interruption. I am a university student who's studying in business. Do you think having a Harvard CS course can help my career? Look, in general, I think coding, anyone should take at least the Python course. If you have the slightest interest in coding, and let's be honest, if you are in a business school, you're going to get a degree in business, having a coding proficiency can help you in your job search. It could be that you can write some script for your job, etc. It could be that if you have your bachelor's in business, instead of doing an MBA for your master's, maybe you could do something in computer science. Look into it. I think step one, though, just focus on enjoying the course, focus on getting something out of it, focus on just getting a little bit smarter by learning how to code, and don't worry so much about what you're going to do down the line. you're already in business school, stick to it, I guess. And I think having a Harvard CS course under your belt could only help you. Okay, so it seems like you're trying to render an array of objects directly inside a JSX expression. This is what we're getting at, basically. JSX can render objects directly. You need a map over. Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly at this point after debugging and debugging and debugging endlessly, if I'm understanding this correctly, a JSX expression, yeah, if I understood this correctly, a JSX expression is another way of saying a React component. And so that's what we're trying to return. Basically, that's what we return. We return React components. And what it's saying is that a React component cannot render objects directly, meaning we have to open them up. Fine, so let's try and do that. Now, let me see if I can understand what this code is saying here. So the issue that we have here is this here. This post feed is this up here. And we are basically just shoving in there our JSON, which is this whole massive array of objects. Doesn't like that. So we have to iterate through each thing and then return. And so yeah, Android 17, I'm seeing here postfeed.map and the elements. So yeah, that's basically how you would iterate. Okay, I'll try that. I'm going to try out the code you're giving me there. I think it's similar to what they have here. Now, my only fear is that I already tried using the .map method and it didn't work yesterday. So let's try it again. So instead of having a post feed here, we're going to write in post feed. Wait a second. Yeah, I do believe I wrote it with a lowercase f. So, okay. .map. And now for each post or each element, doesn't really, I guess it doesn't matter what we name that. Unless I have somewhere else that I wrote the word post, now it's making a problem, but I don't think that's so. Okay, so for each one, we are going to go ahead and I do believe that .map gets us inside of the array, and then we are looking for body. Wait. So it would be we're inside of the array, so that's this one here. But then there's like a dictionary within a dictionary, so we have to write .fields.body. I believe that's the correct syntax. Yeah, I'm gonna just return any data, but my issue is that I think I have a post, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just type in post.model. I feel like that would be the easiest one. Or forgetting how to, so it would be fields.body. I think it would be fields.body. And thank you for your help, Android 17. Let's try this, see if it works. What's the issue here? Can't access property map. Post feed is null. It's inside the div tag. Post that is also inside of a div tag. A div within a div within a div. Okay. We'll try that. Okay, fine. Div with a return statement, right? So in here as well. Let's try this. Whoops. Let's try this again. No, still giving us an error. Let's see. So there's the return here it should be a different color. Let me see. Maybe Maybe it's without the, no? I think it's without the brackets? I wonder. No? How could it be? Okay. Yeah, this shouldn't be blue here though. It should be purple. And it's throwing this error here that the can't access property map post feed is null, which makes sense. Let's try like that. Ah. Yeah, this is the same exact error I was getting the last time. So post feed.map is not a function. So I guess we declaring this as an empty array is correct, because anyways, that's what we're trying to. It could be that whatever data we end up putting in there, whatever we are putting in there, how do you say it? Has to be the same data type as whatever we initialize it as. We need a loading. What do you mean we need a loading? You mean this here? This is loading here. Okay, so let's see. Um, let me see here. Okay, post feed map is not a function. Let me see this. Someone before said that they wanted to so we did initialize it as an array, so that's good. And instead of set post, we're passing an array, and I think we are. I mean, I really do think we are. This where are we here? Maybe we're not passing an array. Maybe we're passing this dictionary. Let's see again. Look, Android 17. I know you're saying that you think you need a loading or whatnot. Okay, you think we need a loading. I'm not sure what you mean by that because I mean this is loading here. Let me know if this is what you mean. I do believe that we might have an issue here when we first initialize it. It's not, something is wrong here. Something is totally wrong here. And so it comes down to this error post feed.map is not a function. So basically our mistake or our error that we're getting is here. I did see a piece of code before. I'm trying to find it. I think it was on Stack Overflow here. No, this is something else maybe. This is something else. Yeah, array.prototype.map. So I'm going to try type in here prototype. Let's try to make this an array again. And I'm going to give it this one more try. I see that you're answering here another use state. 1 second, let me see. Can't access property map, post is undefined. No idea. So here we need a loading, add another loading use state. Let me see here where we have the use state. You mean up here? How do you mean another use state? Please explain. I have no idea what you mean by add another loading use state. We have a use state right here. No, what? What is this? I'm just gonna paste what you wrote here. I have no idea what this code even means. I'm gonna put it down here for now just to see it. Let me know if this is where you want it or if it goes somewhere else. Okay, so what does this do? This says const loading, set loading, use state false, loading if I forgot what this means. This is like a I guess if loading, then display this, and if not, post feed.map. Right. This is very good code, man. I don't definitely a little bit beyond my skill level at the moment. I'm just starting with React now. Add this under your post feed use state. Yeah, okay, fine. So on the okay, let me see. So loading, set loading, use state of false. I have no idea. Let me see. I don't know. I don't see where I'm using that even. Where I'm even calling that. So it's giving me that mistake or that error over there. We're accessing post feed data before calling the API inside use effect. That's the bug. So we're accessing post feed data before calling the API inside the use effect. That's the bug. Let me see if I can internalize that again. Before calling the API. So the API is over here. So you're saying that this up here is no good. So how? Set loading use state equals false. Okay, add this under your post feed use state. No, so I put it over here. So we need an gotcha. Okay. So you're saying that over here somewhere I would have to update this use state here from false to true. If else, if the data is not loaded, we don't access the data. Got it. Okay. So then do we really need the if else? Otherwise, because we're just starting at false anyways, no? You're saying the if else should be in the return. Got it. Okay. We'll try that. Fine. I'll try that in a minute. So let's try to implement what he's saying. Thank you. Set loading true. Correct. Okay, fine. So set post feed data and set loading to true with a capital or just leave it true. Yeah, so we're setting the loading true, and then over here, the return if loading shouldn't it be if false? Or even um there's gotta be a shorter word. What this like this? No, is that even a thing? Okay, never mind. Loading. Yeah, I did. Over here, use state false. So the loading is initiated to false. And then if loading not false, right? Isn't that what it should be? Ah, got it. Okay. So it's the opposite. Fine. So false, and then up here probably true, right? True. Fine. So the default is that it is loading. And then when it's completed loading, it'll say false. Let me know if that's correct, please. Right? So we initiate it. When we first initiate this, it's going to be loading, and then after we receive the info, we're going to set it to false. And then over here, if over here should be true, right? If loading not true, right? Yeah, let's just try it out. Okay. And let's see how it looks. Looks like it's getting there. Thank you, Android 17. Okay. This could be a total mess, but a ternary operator? What is a ternary operator? Vater in JS. That makes three operands. The condition of a question mark. There's an expression just really colon. Finally, expression falsy. Got it. Okay, let's see 1 second. So I don't even know, honestly. I'm getting confused here. Let's try it. 1 second. Eesh. Const post feed set post feed use state and loading set loading use state true. Use effect fetch all the posts then response equals response.json. Yes, so we do all this, set loading to false, if loading yeah, exactly fine. That makes total sense. So if loading not true, da 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 da, else. What should I write for else? Are we returning something over there? Like what? Okay. If loading, yeah, makes sense, fine. So if loading, yeah, makes sense. So if loading, we're gonna return Do I need this return out here? It's a good question, right? If loading. Okay, if loading, we want to return. Yeah, div. I'm gonna change this in a minute. Loading. Return div loading. Else. Return div. Okay, 1 second. And so let's get rid of all this down here. Out. Something's not adding up here. Yeah. Hmm. Let's see. Don't need the return inside if block. Let's see. Did I take it out? The return inside the if block. Where did that even go? Let's see here. Same error. Nothing. I mean, it's saying that this const here, inline unexpected character of that. which I don't see that anywhere. Use state. I don't know what they mean by this. It's just I don't really know. Maybe it's some. See. Hey, it seems to be doing the loading though, or maybe not. No, it's not. Let's see here. What's wrong with this code? So in React, you can't directly use an if statement inside a return statement. You should use a ternary operator and logical. That's what you said before, actually, the ternary operator. And you're trying to use prototype of map post feed, but map is a method directly on arrays, not on their prototype. So you should use post feed.map. Okay, let's do that first. Okay, so return loading. So if it's loading, we're gonna do that div that you said. And look, you were right. This is just like very new syntax for me. So yeah, so if it's loading, we're gonna return this div. Else, we're going to do this whole part down here. Get rid of this. I believe we get rid of the return. Let me just copy it from here. So this is what we got to return. No. Just need this part, okay. Let's see now. So yeah, this is very similar, very, very similar to what you said. I just didn't understand the syntax at first. It's still not working, but we'll take a look again. So the post feed app. Actually, I do see a mistake here already. Let me see again. No, what happened now? Sorry, yes, this is where we gotta paste that. So this belongs to up here, but yeah, so I think everything should go here. It looks the right color now, so let's see, hopefully it's correct. Yes. Look, it's still not working, but at least I picked up this new syntax here. So let's see. So return. So if it's loading, or if loading is true, the error really is coming from this code up here. It's like not happy with it. I don't know why. Hey, yeah, something might have worked. Let's see. No, so we're still getting the similar. This here is the issue. The dot map is not a function. Let's see again. It's giving this error. So I should initialize the post feed as what? As a dictionary or as nothing? Or as what? It's not an array, right? It's not an array. It's more of a. I think it's a dictionary. No, it's a dictionary of dictionaries, something like that. Who knows? It's giving this error. So I'm really sorry, but I can't send it. I don't think I can send you the API URL. It's just like it's just running locally here. I'm not. I should have been. No, it's all running locally here. The error message you're seeing typically indicates that post feed is not an array. Yes, we're getting at what you're saying here. So post feed is not an array. The map function is only available on arrays. So if post feed is not an array, you'll see this error. Can you please check the data you're receiving from your fetch request? You can do this by logging the data to the console. The data looks like, let's just copy a little bit of the data here. Let's copy all of it. That would be great if I could just put all this in here. The data is JSON. Yeah, that's exactly more or less what has to be an array. So we have to, it looks like here, instead of writing data, we got to write data dot post. Let's try that again. And I did see the loading. I don't know if you saw that. I don't know if it came out in the stream here. The AI is correct. Yeah, so it's throwing this like loading in there. You see that? Should I put some type of delay here? Is there a way to do that? Like I feel like we're getting confused here. The part we're getting lost here. How do I do that? Where delay, I gotta put a delay somewhere in here. Like the dot then data. Um, I want to put a delay before returning. I feel like that's the issue because look, everything is happening so quick. Boom, it just does that. Now it's still saying here that can't access property map. Post feed is undefined. Post feed is undefined. Why? Data.posts. Let's see what data.post is. Post. Again, I am logging my data.posts. Oof, that's a lot of JavaScript. Let's go back. My data.posts is what? My data.posts is doing what? All right, right now we're not console logging anymore. Why? Let me try back to data. And so my data was showing here before. Yeah, so here's the data. So let's try again. I believe, one second, it's not data.post, it's data.data, maybe. Let's try that. Yeah. Yeah, so the data.data is a, yeah. So data.data is definitely correct me please if I'm wrong, is definitely an array. It is definitely an array. So I don't understand why. It's still telling me that it's not a function. Let's go back to the AI. They did have a point. You should just set post feed to match the structure of your data. Yeah, but it's still not working. I really do think that. I do think though that we are now submitting an array over there. I mean that's yeah. Now, here I do want to do a little bit of cleanup here, because inside of this now we're gonna have it's data, and then inside of that also we have another thing here going on, which would be you see there's like a dictionary inside of a dictionary here. Let's try or code. No, you see? So this is not how it is. It's not data. Oh wait, hold up a second. I think it is though. Yeah, so it is. But inside of that they have more like maybe I should convert it to should I just convert it into an array? I don't know. Like should I do some type of data conversion over there? Let me see. Let's see. I just showed you. Let's see. I'm getting this error. I'm getting this error on this code here. Let's see now. I feel like we're getting closer than ever to the solution here. We would share. It seems like you're correctly initially posting as an array using the use state. The issue is, um, it is an array of dictionaries. Let's see. Let's try that again. Let's try that here. So just for debugging, we'll add this little bit of code here. And I'm just gonna alert instead of this. Okay. Okay, so it doesn't think that it's an array. Let's try this again. Let's just take a look at the data one more time. So if we go on to, yeah, right here. Oh, I think it's called, what is it? Oh, post. here, right? So it is giving us data.data. Let me no, so it's already being logged. Let me see again. So we are logging it, you see. So it definitely looks like an array. But according to our code here, I mean, we're using the this JavaScript JS function here, array. I don't know, whatever. We're just checking if this data.data is an array. According to JavaScript, it's not. So there's that. Here, so I feel like perhaps an easy fix to this whole problem might be to format the data correctly on the server side. Maybe that's what we got to do. So let's go ahead and try that. Because it really, I mean, it's returning all this mess that we don't even need, honestly. All we need is 3-4 fields. We don't need to solve the problem here. Let's try and do that. Okay. So we'll just try quickly here. Yeah, like that, and like this. So let's just try here. Post. What was the specification up here? We want to have yeah. So the owner of the post, or yeah. So owner or post owner. I think that's how we're going to solve this, just formatting the data better. Post.owner and post body is going to be yeah, we might be missing some steps here, which I think is where we're going to stop here for this coding session. So we did a ton of debugging. We didn't make that much progress here other than connecting with Android 17, who has been of amazing help this coding session. And I'm really happy that you joined. And hopefully we'll see you in the future streams as well. But even though we didn't get the app to work today, I feel like we're really onto something here. And so in the next coding session, I think that if we format this JSON response to have the correct fields, instead of just responding with this mess of information, I mean, it's really a handful here. I think that we'll be able to get the correct behavior that we're looking for. And we also learned how to write a little bit of new syntax here with React. So yeah, Android 17, thank you so much again. I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. And okay, guys, so that's it for now. And let's see here. Let's see how much time we did today. Yeah, so we are up to our 2 hours. So wishing you all the best. Much success in your coding journey. And I'll see you in the next coding session. Be well.